Good afternoon. The topic for today's lecture is recapitalization of banks. We all know that recapitalization means infusing capital into any of the bank so that they will follow the capital adequacy norms. Our government uses various methods and measures in order to infuse capital to the banks in case there is running if the bank is running out of money. The one question that arises in our mind, why this recapitalization is required? So, in compliance with the Reserve Bank of India, there are some guidelines that every bank has to follow, and there is a norm which is called as Basel norms, according to which every bank has a certain amount of capital reserves in case of emergency. So, our government, which is the biggest shareholder in every bank, used to issue bonds and sometimes buy the shares in every bank. So, what happens in the recent past is that various banks are suffering from the case of non-performing assets, which are also called as the bad loans, because sometimes the banks are not able to pay the loan that they have taken from the banks, due to which there was a big mountain of non-performing assets, and it will be hard for the banks to operate in an efficient manner. In 2019 budget, government has announced 70,000 crore recapitalization programs for the banks to shore up their capital reserves and also to enhance the credit flow into the economy. So in the recent past, what happens in various banks, in case of Yes Bank and in case of Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative banks, there was a misauditing by the senior executives of the banks, due to which the depositors were very concerned about their money. But as soon as the Reserve Bank of India have taken the supervision of both the banks, so there was a proper investigation, and the culprits were ousted of that bank, and the State Bank of India come forward to restructure the bank in order to infuse the money into the bank. And also the same happened with the case of Punjab and Maharashtra cooperative banks. So in order to treat such kind of issues, so there was a moratorium implemented by the banks, so that people will have belief, people will feel secure that their money is in their own hands. So what are the various things that we can do in order to infuse more and more money into the economy, so that there will be proper flow of capital and liquidity into the economy? First thing is that all the banks which are operating in India must come into the direct supervision of Reserve Bank of India, because Reserve Bank of India is the apex body and all the banks comes under the Reserve Bank of India. So if anything goes wrong in case of risk control or adequacy norms, so Reserve Bank of India will solve the matter in an easy manner with the help of other banks into the country. And other thing is that there must be a proper auditing at regular intervals, so that if anything goes wrong or if there is any mismanagement by the authority, so it can be sorted out in a easy manner. Thank you.
The chairman of 15th Finance Commission of India, Sri N.K. Singh, has recently said to the Government of India to increase the recapitalization of banks in the next 5 years, considering the erosion of banking sector in India due to the bad loans. A very good afternoon, friends. So today I will talk about the topic that is recapitalization of banks. Friends, we all know that this coronavirus pandemic, it has severely affected the balance sheets of all the companies and their loan repayment capabilities. This is expected to affect the public sector banks of India in a highest level, which had already been battling a high level of non-performing assets and the bad loans. Now coming to the what exactly the recapitalization means. Then recapitalization of banks, it means the infusion of capital amount into the public sector banks or the state-run banks of India, in order to ensure the financial sufficiency norms or standards of the public sector banks. In India, the majority of the shareholders of public sector banks lies with the government. So it is the responsibility of the government to ensure the financial stability of all the public sector banks in India. Now coming to the why there is a need of recapitalization of banks, what are the problems with our banking structure. Then the first and majority problem is the loan defaulters or the bad loans, which is also called as non-performing assets. In India, a large number of people, they took loan for opening their business, and due to their business does not grow, they are not able to pay back their loan. And the second problem is the economic fugitive offenders such as Vijay Mallya, Nirav Modi and Mehul Choksi. Those people who took a large amount of loans from Indian public sector banks and moved to the another country. So these people are known as the fugitive economic offenders. So all these factors increases the tension or the stress on the Indian public sector banks, and that's why the government needed to infuse some capital amount into the public sector banks, so ensure the well functioning of the public sector banks in the public sector banks in India still enjoy the trust of public even though it is going through the severe and worst level of crisis. It is only because the government has given the assurance of recapitalization. Now coming to the conclusion or how to strengthen our Indian financial system or Indian banking system. Then first of all, the government need to take the strong measures to take the recovery of the loans from the offenders. In India, the banks will have to take the serious step in order to loan recovery from the defaulters, and also the government have taken a step in order to control the fugitive economic offender, that is the Fugitive Economic Offender Act 2018, that will allow the government or the banks to confiscate all the properties of offender in India.